If the holidays leave you snappy, exhausted, and hating who you become around family, this episode is for you. I'll show you how to catch your stress sooner, stay in your window of dignity, and come back to yourself quickly. We're talking 2 minutes or less. Imagine the holidays without those 3 a.m. panicked wake-ups. Imagine actually feeling proud of how you handled everything and how you showed up for everybody. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to read your nervous system. You'll have quick resets based on where you're at. You'll expand your capacity so this vision of the holidays can be your reality. And the holidays are a perfect time to expand your capacity because you see them coming. It's like an annual predictable stress test. And unless your whole family has done a bunch of personal work, you can probably predict how they're going to show up. The opportunity is in you. Your freedom, your change, your transformation lies in you. So instead of white knuckling it, hoping and praying it's going to turn out differently this year, let's expand your capacity so you experience it differently. If you're a woman over 40, something a little bit cruel is happening. You've inherently got more load with work, with home, with kids, with aging parents, and at the same time, due to your hormones, your capacity and your stress resilience is shrinking. So things like this may be occurring. You make a special dinner that your family requested and they seem very excited about it. But as soon as you put the plates down and they take a few bites, someone says something and it just sets you off like that. You snap. Even worse, then you shame spiral for snapping and you start wondering, is this just who I am now? Irritable, exhausted, always on edge? Or maybe you wake up and it's 3:17 a.m. again. Your heart's pounding, your mind is racing, you're replaying that situation, projecting it onto the future, and you're thinking, I can't keep doing this, but I don't know how to stop. You might even be thinking, if I slow down, everything falls apart. Or you're standing in Target, you got a candle in one hand, a throw pillow in the other. You're wondering if they'll like it. And inside your heart is aching. You're thinking, I should be happy. I have so much. So why do I feel hollow or mad at everybody? And then even deeper, something whispers, am I just really worn down and tired? Or is something wrong with me? All of these moments are more common than you imagine. Again, it's this load and capacity dance, and it seems really unfair, mean even. You can feel like you used to be able to handle it all, and you just don't have the capacity anymore. But the opportunity and invitation here is to know yourself more fully, to become more skillful with how you're navigating your nervous system, and step into a whole new era of strength and wisdom. So how do we get there? Especially when you don't get to opt out of most of the load you're carrying. You don't get to opt out of your kids or your aging parents or your spouse. You still have your work and your responsibilities. And at the same time, your life situation seems heavier. It is for many of your friends and family members too. It's not breakups and work tiffs anymore. It's divorce and cancer that we're navigating. Then you add the holidays with its many layers of extra, like the family drama and the logistics and the gift expenses. During the holidays, there are 2 mistakes that most people make. The first mistake is trying to make things better by doing more. Making yourself meditate, go to classes, all the self-care rituals. But then the self-care can quickly become another expectation, another thing to manage, another thing on your plate. Mistake number 2 is you ignore it. You stuff down what you're feeling. You white knuckle your way through it. You try to be more positive. You put on a thin veneer of holiday cheer. I'll take care of myself when things slow down in January. There's a better way. With both of these, you're not responding skillfully to the signs and signals coming from your body. And at some point in time, your body says, hey, you're not listening to me. I'm going to turn up the volume on these signs and signals that I'm sending. I'm going to make it obvious that you need to slow down, stop, and rest. And I'll do that with a migraine, a frozen shoulder, your back going out, or that really nasty cold. The body keeps the score, and when it's had too much, it will say no. So what do? You can't drop everything. There's increased load, decreased capacity. Maybe your body is starting to treat everything like an emergency. This is your moment to start listening to your body. To help students see what listening means and also the consequences of not listening, I have a tool called the scale of integration. I'm going to go over it quickly, and then I'll give you a physical example of how this plays out and an emotional example. In the middle, there's the event, and this is intentionally generic, so we can apply many different examples. And then to the left is the progression of disintegration. First, you get signs like discomfort. Eventually, there is deterioration, disintegration, and some type of contraction or collapse. Going the other way, there's awareness, receptivity, and willingness is the key. Willingness takes you into acceptance. And that's where you can explore, you can get new information, and that always leads to transformation, integration, and expansion. Big fancy words, let's get some concrete examples. Here's a physical one. Let's use a frozen shoulder. At first, there are signs. Maybe it's a little bit crunchy in there. It kind of barks at you when you reach for something, but you ignore it, you push it away. So then the body starts talking louder. Now you have symptoms. It's achy all the time. Even at night, it starts to wake you up and it's getting stiff and restricted. If you continue to ignore the signs and signals coming from your body, eventually there's more disintegration. Now the shoulder is frozen and you're limited. Your world and your actions become contracted. If we go the other way, you start to feel that little twinge, that little poke, that little pull in your shoulder. You're aware of it. You're receptive to that information coming from your body and you're willing to work with it. Then you get new information, you start to explore and experiment with what you're doing, and you will experience a transformation. You'll become more empowered, more proficient. You have more agency in your own body. Now let's go after an emotional example. Let's say your in-laws come to visit and your mother-in-law is a little bit mean. She says something at dinner. You get some signs from your body, a rush of heat. You get a little bit itchy. But you ignore it, you stuff it down, you swallow it. But you're starting to get more and more agitated. If you keep repressing, you'll either blow up like a volcano eventually, maybe not even to that person, or you numb out, shut down, and then you're totally dissociated and checked out. So there's this disintegration, disconnection that happens. On the other hand, something snippy gets said and you allow it into your awareness. You're receptive to what happens to your body and you're willing to work with it. You're like, I need a walk. I need some fresh air, or maybe I need to set some boundaries, or I need to take in new information that allows me to see and interact with this differently. And because you're willing to work with it and you get new information, there's transformation and expansion that occurs. So the scale of integration is motivation to listen to the signs and signals coming from your body and how to respond skillfully to the information you're receiving. Because it's only through listening to the signs and signals coming from your body that you can navigate your nervous system. And navigating your nervous system keeps you in your window of tolerance, also called your window of dignity. So you have a window where you are your better self, where you can be present and connected and open and receptive. You can show up as the person you want to be. Outside of that window, you start to fight or flee, you get snappy, you start avoiding, or you shut down. You start to go numb, dissociate. You're not even there anymore. Here's a quick assessment you can do so you know how to respond and get yourself back into that window of dignity. Are you hyper over-aroused, overstimulated, or hypo, understimulated and tapped out. Hyper, you're edgy, impatient, snappy. You're overfunctioning, overplanning, overthinking, in go, 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 do, can't slow down, can't rest. Hypo, it's like you can't really get going. You're heavy, sluggish, foggy. You think, who cares? It doesn't matter anyway. You're likely to zone out, numb out, doom scroll. When you know where you are on that spectrum, then you know what you need. If you're hyper, you need to downshift. Here are some examples. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through pursed lips like you're breathing through a straw. The longer the exhale, the better. Do 3, 5, 8 rounds of that style of breathing. Your body may resist, and that is a sign you really need the shift. Keep going, but if it doesn't change in about 5 rounds of breathing, do something different. Next, shaking, then stillness. Shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your head, shake whatever you can shake, as much and as long as you can shake, and then sit and bask in stillness. This technique discharges the frenetic, anxious, upticked energy. Another technique is walking. During walking, the side-to-side eye movement tamps down the amygdala and the fear and stress response. Another technique is co-regulating, because when you're in this state, it's like everyone's an enemy. So holding someone's hand, getting a long hug, cuddling up with an animal is a quick way to down-regulate. Here are some strategies for quick upshift. Turn on some music and dance and sing, especially if you don't feel like it. Take a walk around the house, around the block, whatever you do, that movement will start to build up your energy again. Throw your legs up the wall or at 90 degrees on the couch. Again, this will stir things up and help revitalize you. Breathing techniques that emphasize the inhale. Just like the exhale is down-regulating, the inhale is up-regulating. One of my favorites is breath of joy. So you don't need a bazillion tools. You don't need an hour-long practice. You don't even need 20 minutes. Most of these can be done in a few seconds or a few minutes. The key is using them. To use them consistently and when you need them most, I encourage you to find your 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭. 𝐾𝐾𝐨𝐿s are daily activities or situations that will inform you about the state of your nervous system. My 𝐾𝐾𝐨 is the dishes. If I'm easy breezy cooking and cleaning, no big deal. I know my nervous system is in a good place. If I go up to those dishes and start scrubbing like a maniac, I know I am hyper, over-aroused, sympathetic overdrive, and I need to do something quickly to chill out. If I see the dishes and want to burst into tears, I know I am hypo. I'm slipping down into overwhelm and despair, and I need to do something to comfort and fortify and build myself up as soon as possible. So what are your 𝐾𝐾𝐨s? What are those daily situations that will allow you to read and respond skillfully to your nervous system? Maybe it's how you're driving. Maybe it's how you're speaking to your kids. Maybe it's how you feel about your spouse's breathing. Maybe it's the itchiness or comfort in your clothes or your body. Maybe it's the speed with which you're running errands. Maybe it's the foods you're choosing to eat or how you're choosing to spend your time. And this is how you turn the holidays into a capacity expanding game. Find your 𝐾𝐾𝐨s, use them to assess where you're at with your nervous system, and then respond as quickly as possible. Not with a 2-hour thing, not even with a 20-minute practice, but with a 2-minute or 20-second upshift or downshift. This is how you learn to listen to your body and take the signs and signals it's giving you and become stronger and more resilient from them. Let's set some expectations before we wrap up. This will not solve everything. You'll probably still slip. You'll have moments of numbing out or checking out, but you'll also have more awareness. You're more likely to catch it and then do something about it. And remember, it's only at the edge of your window of tolerance that you expand your capacity. And when you're at the edge of your window of tolerance, you are uncomfortable. And many of the things you will do at the edge of your window of tolerance will be uncomfortable. It's easy to slide into those old habits and coping mechanisms. It is challenging and courageous to build not just new habits or new responses, but new neural pathways. And that's what you're doing. You're a cycle breaker, a game changer for yourself, your family, and everyone around you. Keep going, be courageous, get uncomfortable. Be willing to listen to the signs and signals coming from your body. That information leads to your transformation. Even though I study this and teach this, I still find it challenging. And it's better and easier in community. So if you have a friend, a family member, a loved one who needs this, who needs a boost of encouragement and empowerment for the holidays, please send it to them. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. See you soon.